Okay. There we go, right here. And hopefully that works. All right, all right. Okay. Oh, I got all this lighting, and it seems like there's no light at all. Um, Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Let me hit this here. All right, I think I'm good. I got all this lighting, but it feels like I have no light at all. Sister Deborah is coming today with the short message. I'm not going to be with you long because I know I'm going straight into my Sabbath, and I'm looking forward to it. Have had a long, long week, and it's time to wind down and really hear from the Most High Yah. There was a topic that I wanted to really get into, and I decided not to dig deep into this topic, not because I don't think it's important. I think it is important, but what I'm about to talk about now to me is more important than anything because it came as a quicken. And anytime the Most High send us a message through a quicken moment, it's time to speak on that moment of quickness in which he has given it unto me like a quicken. I mean, it just came out of nowhere. And I just want to cover it. And I think that what is actually happening is, and it's okay for what I'm about to say that is happening because people don't realize that they are doing it. They have no idea of what I'm saying. They have no idea that this is actually taking place. And that is, people are coming every way into the house outside of the front door. Everyone trying to get in through the back. Everyone trying to find a way in through the back door. And that's kind of sad. It is, and it's not kind of sad, it is, because that's actually letting you know that people are not trying to get in closer or wanting Yah to take them in. You know, like like Seth Fish is a child and their father is there, and they run into their father, get up in his lap, and he embraced him. People are not looking for that. People are looking for coming into the house every way except the front door, because at the front door you meet Yah. Mhm. No one wants to come through the front door. People want to come in where they are comfortable, and that's through the back door. That means any way they want to, not with repentance. They're not trying to come to the back door riding on repenting. They're not trying to come to the back door coming in as the light. They're trying to come through the back every way possible, the back door. And in them, there is starting to be a great confusion, a great amount of confusion. And I noticed that. I don't know if you all have noticed that. That is what's hitting the world today. And many people are not looking for that. That's why when he says this to me as a quicken, I was like, where'd that come from? But then again, once I sat down and I kept thinking about it as I sat up, a quickening, a quickening, a quickening, that people are trying to come in every way outside of the right way. And he given me this in a way of wanting me to understand that the way that they're doing it, they're coming in every way they think they coming in. You see, they're preparing their way into the front. Let me get this off of here. the coming in and thinking that we don't have to come in through the front door. But what he's telling me is people are falling into this trap of confusion. They really are falling in a trap, y'all. Because why did they wait till I get on live? Why? Why? 1 minute. Who is that? When I'm not going to open the door because I don't know who it is and I can't see it, so I'm not opening the door. But people are, you don't know it's coming, because first thing when the father was like breaking it down to me, I said, but I don't think people are aware of the confusion that is upon them. People are not understanding. People are not gripping, understanding things. They are, it's like you're talking to a brick wall. It's like you're talking away and in hope that people would grip it, but they're not. They're not. He's saying they're being very confused. They're confused. Then he went on to telling me about tribulations and perilous time and men heart shall fail them. And I'm like, okay, I know we're in that stage, Father. We're in that time period, not that time, in that day. But how is it people getting things confused is because you're saying one thing, they thinking another. That means that they're not coming in through the front door. They're coming in through the back, meaning their mind. He said, lean not to your own understanding. Why? Because your own understanding is your flesh, to be honest. And when your flesh leads you in a way of allowing you to understand it its way, you lost. You're lost with a cause and without. So what the Father is sharing with me is it's going to be so much confusion because things are going to be said and people are going to interpret the wrong way. And he gave me 3 examples earlier today. And it didn't even dawn on me when he switched my message and was saying, they're coming another way. And I'm like, to the back? That means their understanding is backwards. When I'm speaking of coming through the front door versus the back and trying to get in through the basement door, that means you're trying to get into something that's so precious at the front door that you're thinking you can come in with your own understanding, your own interpretation, your own way of hearing it, the own way of seeing it, and the own way of comprehending it. That means you're left with no understanding. That means that spiritual understanding. You're left. So I'm like saying, but Father, if we are lost in your understanding, we messed up. We are terribly messed up, Father, because your understanding was to teach us all things. And if we get messed up there, Father, we are messed up for good. What he's saying to me in that same realm is him who come to teach us all things. And in all things, he said, get an understanding, because if I'm going to teach you all things, understand what I teach you. Almost not that it's in your strength, but it is. But what he's saying is they taking on the flesh and they understanding things in their own understanding. You see, they gripping it and putting it together and mastering it from another end. So he said to me with the quicken, they're trying to come through the back door. That's all it is. I guess that's a way of also showing me what he's saying to me in the spirit realm, is to say that they're coming in through the back door because that's the only way that they can they can comprehend entering their end. But we as people today, I'm going to tell y'all, it's over. Let me say that again. I mean, like over, really over. It's over. All of this overthinking, over feeling, over understanding, comprehending, overworking your flesh mind that ain't worth the dime. It's over. That day and that time and that season when that was good for you and it worked for you, it's over. Only way you're gonna be able to come in is through the front door, and that's the Most High Yah. And if He don't open that door for your butt to come in, your butt better go somewhere else and try another house. Because everybody is trying to come in every way possible. They're losing their understanding. They're losing their comprehension. They're losing in their feelings, in their emotions. They're losing in every way possible for the flesh. And they picked the wrong day that we're in. This is a day like no other. You don't want to lose out. But then going back to what he said, it's over. They already have lost, or either they have won. They either still standing in the back door, at the back door, or they at the front door already, Deborah, because that's how over it is. People wanting to hear a message that can give them a check mark in their flesh. It's like a brownie mark. They need something to energize that flesh. But the Father want me to know, and He's speaking, and you thinking a lot of people might hear me, but they don't hear me, because the lot coming from the flesh, and those that are coming from the Spirit. Let me tell you what He told me. It's you. It's you. You're trying to come in and understand things in a way that's taking you off course. Don't let, and it's your own comprehension in your flesh that make you overwork yourself, overthink yourself, over comprehend something. It don't take all that when the Holy Spirit is in you. He's a quicken, just like me. When He communicates with me, He don't waste His time breaking things down to me little at a time, every hour, every minute, every second, every day, every week. It's showing me what He needs to show me. He come in like a quicken, and if I don't grip it, then I ain't gonna get it. The Father is not waiting for us to comprehend things in the level of the light. Either the light is in you or darkness is in you, or you're trying to play both roles and it's confusing you which side you actually is on. And even if you find yourself there, guess what? You're not at the front door like you think you are. And that's what people don't understand. That's a part of tribulation. People confused. You say yes, they say no. You say up, they say down. You say green, they say red. Why are they switching up what you're saying? It's because the spirit of confusion is among them. They can't keep that, Deborah. They can't stay with you. If you say up, the spirit of confusion is in tribulation, is in perilous time. That's what it's for. They gonna interpret you said something else, instead of seeing things in the what? The light, in spirit and truth. Their mind of their flesh is teaching them something totally different. They just can't just be where they just need to be in the light so you can move to a brighter and brighter light. No, they keep going backwards, thinking they can find what they're looking for in the understanding of their flesh. This is what He means. To the back door. You're going in the wrong way. Stay at the front door. Stay there. If he already opened the door for you, get your tail on in that house. Stop playing, thinking you can run to the back door. And surely I'm going to get in through the basement window, through the crawl space. Take your tail to the front door. You seek him from that front door. You knock on that front door, even if you have to bam on it. You see? You ask him from the front door. Don't be coming through the back door, because you're going to be with those that are fully confused. And I remember it was a time where I saw, and I think I read it, where he said there's going to also be in the days where there's going to be a strong delusion. And hey, let me tell you something. Earlier today, I've been seeing that. I'm like, how is it you saying one thing and people thinking another? Why is it people just can't stay where the level of wisdom and knowledge and understanding is trying to invade or trying to say something? No, they got to go way up here on the deep end and dissect it on the deep end, which is in the back. I don't need to go to the back door. This same one that opened up the front door, he opened it up for me when I was 4 years old, and I ain't went to the back ever since. I've been in situations where I was hired at the prison system to train men in the kitchen. And then that same place had a women's prison cross from not like near each other, but like down the road and cross over from the men prison. And I asked them, I said, why y'all bringing men down here to the women prison instead of letting the women come in here in the kitchen and I train them? All because of the things that women do. That's what they said. So what I'm trying to say to you all, I've dealt with hardened criminals working side by side with me, where they was telling me about certain things they gonna try to steal and knives, don't let them do it. Look, I had the father, not me, but the father always had 2 or 3 that runs the inmates in that kitchen with me, that if anybody buckle, they there out of nowhere. Did I ask for them? No, I didn't know who they were until I saw them pull up, making sure that I was okay. I look back over even in that part of my living, and I realized how the Yah been keeping me all this time. You know why, you guys? I didn't have no business in no prison system training men. You want me to tell you what it is? Look up Clayton Prison, Gumbo, and Annex. And you'll wonder, Sister Deborah, you need your butt whooped. Why was you there? I'm a type of person. I go anywhere I feel, and that's what I said, feel I want to go. But when I went in there, I was not afraid, you guys. I was not afraid. You know why? It wasn't me. It was something, it was he that been with me since I was 4 years old, that have been keeping me no matter what I take my tail into. He's there to protect me. You see, even to this point, even to this very day, he wants me to learn what day we are in, because everybody is somewhere else. And I look at that as well. They at the back door trying to get in. Nobody wants to go the righteous way, the way of the light, the way of spirit and truth. And that's at the front door. Everybody want to go to the back door. And even in their thoughts and in their own self-understanding, which is their flesh, which takes the majority of their strength and their mind, is their flesh. And it teaches them, if you say up, they say down. Did you say down? If you say red, they say green. What's the deal with that? People are not understanding we are in a time where you're going to be very confused. Be careful, because he said he was going to release that strong delusion. So you will believe the lie that believe you. You see? See, if he's going to release the delusion juice on your tail, that means that he's going to make sure you stay in your lie. Yes. To make sure you don't come where? Near the light anymore. So be careful. Because that's the way it felt. It's like, how is it you got this wrong? And it's looking dead at you. How is it you understand this way and you're hearing it just as clear? It's the mindset of people, and it's switching on them. And they don't see, y'all, let me explain to y'all. A lot of y'all don't understand what it means to be your own worst enemies. You are your own worst enemy. Not me, not even Satan, not demons, not witchcraft. You are your own worst enemy. Because you can't seem to just hear what God said, the Most High God, and let it stand there. You always got to let your flesh have its way of thinking, its way of feeling, its way of understanding things. And what happens there? It's outside the light. In its thinking, in its understanding, and in its comprehension, it's outside the light. So what is it thinking in? Darkness. That's it. It can't seem to realize that, wait a minute, if I'm my own worst enemy, well, wait a minute, I don't want to be enemy of my own self in the dark, Deborah. I want to be enemy to my own self in the light. Well, I need to be over here in the light. Well, that's what your comprehension should be. Sister Deborah is not going to send you a message to send you over in the dark. If I can't steer you to the light, I'm not going to be sending you over there to the dark. Y'all ain't sending me to the dark, so why would I send you over there to the dark? It's your own flesh. That's the only thing plays trick on you. Do you know that? Satan can't play the tricks that your own flesh plays on you. Satan can't even lie to you like your own flesh can. Woo, that's deep. Yes, it is. It's called deeper than deep, because we're in a time, not a time, but we're in that day, that dark day, that people ain't looking at themselves and trying to say, okay, I got to stay, I got to feel, and like, hey, okay, I understand this here, I got to feel that thing. Because that's the only way you're going to understand really where you at. You got to feel that thing. When the Spirit say something to me, first thing hit me is what? My feeling. And believe me, it's the feeling is the first thing that hurt me. What you say, Father? Yeah. Oh, it is. You see, that's what get me, because he allowed me to feel what he said. You see, not just hear what he said, but feel that thing. What is feeling it? Letting it first hit you first before you go say it to somebody else. That's what feeling means. Let that thing wrap around your butt first before you get on this devil platform and start telling others about it. That's what feeling it means. That's what the Father wants us to do. To feel that thing first and foremost, and then speak that thing. Because he first given it to you. You cannot receive a message or a word from the Most High and think it is supposed to be applied to everyone without it coming first to you. Oh, no. That's not how he rumbles. If he said it to you, he wants you to apply it first. And in the process of applying it, I feel that thing. It feels so real. Let's put it like that. And it to a brighter light. That's what it does. But you got to get to that feeling, because you want to, that feeling allows you to have a relationship with him and what he's saying. I hear you, Father. I get it, Father. I understand. Thank you, Father. I glorify you. I appreciate you. I'm going to tell y'all another way that he does that. Like, say, for instance, if I'm in the tub, or I'm in the bathroom running water, or if I'm washing dishes, or even if I'm running the water in the washing machine where I'm cutting it on and the water's running. Anytime there's water, the Spirit speaks to me. He speaks so loudly and so clear. And guess what I do? I take heed to it. I take real heavy heat to what he's saying. because that's a special way of when he's speaking to me. And he's been speaking to me since this morning. And I've been complaining to him regarding how things are. Is this it? Yeah. This is what you see. It's what it is. You see? And nope, Sister Deborah can't switch and turn it and flip it. Sister Deborah have to still stay at that front door. Because the Father is righteous. He don't need to be righteous in the back, at the back door. The door that you ain't got no business at. He's going to be righteous at the front door, where he telling you to enter therein. He ain't going to tell you, come behind me and enter from behind me. No, he wants you to come face to face to him and toward him. But what happens is when people can't seem to comprehend at the front door, they tend to go to the back door. And that's when their minds, their level of understanding, their feelings, their emotions, their interpretation begin to get off balance. And that's what's happening. And it's just not over in Russia or over in China. It's everywhere, in your neighborhood, in your family, in your community. Every store you go in, every place you enter therein, is no escaping. We're locked in that mindset today, where people are not comprehended at all. And they're content with it because they're looking for something else outside of light and what is just and what is righteous. So they go another way in, thinking that they're going to come up with a conclusion. If I just go to the back, and they don't understand it coming from the back is you trying to find a way to comprehend something to make it make sense to you, when they don't even take all of that. It don't take all of that. Because if you met the one that's at the front and the one that opened the door at the front door, remember it says knock, what are you knocking for? It says seek, what are you at the door seeking for? And it says ask. When you knock, you're going to ask something. Once you open the door, ain't you going to want to ask? See, it's he that's at the front door, not he that's at the back. Because your flesh is at the back. Because it wants to have its own understanding of what has been said, what is being said. That's how a lot of people interpret things, because they don't want to come through the front door where the light is bright and where he's going to be able to even answer every question and anything you seek for. You're going to have to go to the front door. And then the front door is what you call the righteous way. And a lot of I'm going to show you another example. You know how they said your first mind, or your first, what is that word they used to say? Your first instinct, most likely that's the right one. But you overthink things. You see? You just overly think things. And people apply things to themselves entirely too much. If the shoe don't fit and you wear a size 8, why are you trying to fit a size 4? I don't get it. And that's a mindset. I'm just using that like a parable. If the shoe does not fit you, stop trying to put the shoe on and come to the conclusion within yourself. Those are words that's not being spoken unto me because it doesn't fit me. Know yourself enough to know that if someone is saying something and it don't fit you, stop trying to squeeze your feet in it or yourself into something that does not fit you when you're supposed to know who you are. It's when you think that one almost got the perfect size for you. And that's what make you want to, wait a minute, let me see if this fit me. That's what make people begin to overthink and and begin to comprehend things in a way that they are overthinking. And then feelings get in the way. Then emotions get in the way. Now confusion has set in. They already got the interpretation because they allow all the things of the flesh to capture something that didn't even need all that. But that's the route people go. I was just thinking earlier today, I'm going to go on and kind of climb on top of something I was kind of studying today. In me, I used to, I think it's probably been almost 3 years ago when I had got this deep message within me trying, and in that message, I wanted the Father to give me the answer that I was so searching for. I couldn't grip the fact. Let me get into it so I can kind of give you uh, let me see, I got it right here. Let us go to, first and foremost, let's go to Ezekiel. In the book of Ezekiel, let's go with 36 and 23. Ezekiel 36 and 23. And this is an issue I had because I was trying to understand, Father, what's this thing with them? No one, you won't get a priest, a pope, a bishop, an apostle, a prophet, a prophetess, a maureen, a seer, a watchman, an evangelist, a minister, a teacher. You won't get them to teach this. What I'm about to share with you. But this is something really potent for me as a servant of the Most High, ordained, predestined, and foreknew before the foundation of the world, because I'm the one that always have my hand up. Wait a minute, Father, y'all. I got a question. Something going on here. I don't just settle for just anything. I want to climb on top. I want to understand things. And that's another thing I'm grateful for, is having the Holy Spirit in me, being a teacher of all things, and allowing me to have the spiritual understanding, the spiritual wisdom, the spiritual knowledge. Because 99.9 got the understanding of the world. They got the wisdom of the world. They got the knowledge of the world. That's why they stay on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Patriot, going what? In Daniel chapter 12, 2 and 4. 2 and 4. Ever learning and never coming to the knowledge. So that's why I'm so grateful that the Father take our time to give me what I need. You know, in this day here we are in along with from 4 years old all the way up into this day. So I'm gonna say he been with me that tight. That's why he made it right. He been with me that long. Okay. So when I get to Ezekiel chapter 36, I'm gonna show you all something that you'll never get anyone to ever cover in this day and time. No one will preach this, teach this. But I had to, because I wanted to really kind of dig in to what he was saying about how I didn't know this, that people would become very confused in this tribulation. And I was like, wait a minute, where did that come from? Confused? That means people going to understand things all the wrong way. If you in the car and you're driving and you got a green light, you're going to stop thinking that the green light is red. It's really the Spirit of the Most High, you guys, is teaching me that. No matter what you say, Deborah, no matter how you preach and how you teach, how you inform them of who I am, they're going to see it another way. Confusion. They're going to see it and understand it and interpretate it from the outside of the spirit realm, where there's lots of confusion. So this is here. in Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 23. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. And I don't even think no church would teach this. In Ezekiel chapter 36, whether it's Catholic, Christian, no denomination, it says, and I will sanctify my great name, which was profane among the heathens, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I, Yah, said the Most High, when I should sanctify in you before their eyes. I had a problem with that 3 years ago, because I went before the Father, and nope, I didn't go through the back door. I came straight to the front door. That's why I got my answer. Hey, Father, Most High, what's this with these heathens? What is it that heavens is going to stress in the days to come to all these other nations? Judah would have never caught this. The Hebrews would have never got it. The so-called true Jews would have never caught this. The Israelites would have never got this, because they somewhere way on the deep end, serving the flesh understanding, the flesh wisdom, and the flesh knowledge, and the flesh comprehension. Now, I want you to hear this again. Ezekiel 36 and verse, what was that, 23. And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen. Who profaned Yah's name among the heathens? Judah. Judah's still doing it today. Profaned his great name among the heathens. Judah did that. But who is this heathen, Father? What's the deal with these heathens? Listen to this. And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathens. Who profaned the Most High, the Creator, the all-power, the all-knowing, in the heavens, under the earth, in the earth, under the earth, meaning, you know, the lake of fire, hell, or whatever you want, above all heavens. Who is this whose great name was profaned? And who profaned it? His name, Judah. But among who? Other nations. And listen to what he says. Which ye have profaned in the midst of them. He's telling Judah that. That's why I said you won't hear the Hebrew Israelites teaching this. Watch this here. And the heathen shall know that I am, said the Most High, Yah. When I shall, Deborah, tell them again, when I shall be sanctified in you, Judah, before their sight. Right there, you're talking to the kingdom, the Most High Yah, saying that I'm going to sanctify my great name in the face of the heathens, which is all the other nations. So it lets me know that the beef is heavier than we can even imagine. What is this that the Most High wants to, I'm trying to correct that, wants us to understand about these heathens, these other nations? Let's go. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 20 and verse 41. 20 and verse 41. And it reads, Ezekiel chapter 20 and verse 41. I will accept you with your sweet savor when I bring you out from the people and gather you out of the countries wherein ye have been scattered, and I will sanctify in you before the heathens. What is this? You know what I learned? I'm going to tell you what I learned today. You keep saying what you're going to do in front of the heathens. And not only do the heathen know, the Hebrew Israelites don't know. He got a bone to pick. We talk about he's the beginning and the end. Y'all, he talking about what he gonna do at the end. So to me, people need to be very careful when they talk about, oh, he's Alpha and Omega, he the beginning and the end. Baby, if you knew what that end was, you'd stop quoting it like it's something you didn't rehearse, or it's just that easy. Baby, the end is no play. Now listen to what he said in Ezekiel chapter 20 and verse 41. I will accept you with your sweet savor when I bring you out from the people and gather you out of the countries wherein ye have been scattered, and I will be sanctified in you before the heathens. The greatest bone the Creator has to pick is before the heathens of the nations. It's something about the Creator that he's going to show up and show out before the heathens. The heathens is likened to the Gentiles, and the Gentiles is also likened to the heathens. But he said, I got a bone to pick. I'm going to cut up from the throat up. So that end, that's going to be a very powerful one, y'all. It's coming after the nations. Okay? Now, when he talk about here, when you hear him talk about the people and how he's going to sweet savior and those that were scattered among the country, he's not saying they're all that either. No, that's not what he's saying. But what he's saying to me in such a powerful mystery, which is not a mystery to me, but it's a mystery to 99.9 of people on this earth. What is this dealing you have with these heathens? Why haven't every Catholic church and Christian church and every church on this earth, even all these other denominations in these beliefs, why haven't they checked out? Who is this he's talking to? And what beef does he have with the heathens? And you know what? This book been added, taken away, and smeared. But you're going to see the balance in something being said about the heathens sanctify a people right before their faces. Okay? Now I go to Ezekiel 37. Ezekiel 37 and verse 28. In Ezekiel 37 and verse 28, it says, and the heathens shall know that I am, that Yah do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. But wait a minute, hold up. Let's go back to that again. Ezekiel 37 and verse 28. And the heathen shall know that I am, the Yah, do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. What is it, I asked him 3 years ago, with you and these heathens? What is it you feel that you're going to prove to these heathens who you are? Somewhere along the line, it kind of made me feel that they knew who he was. But they thought maybe he forsaken himself and those he had that was belonging to him. Because him focusing on making sure he proved to these nations when he don't have to prove himself. Y'all don't get what I'm saying. See, you're talking about the creator. You're not talking about the flesh of men and women. What make a creator feel that he has to prove himself to the heathens, which are the Gentiles, and the Gentiles are also the heathens of the nations? What is it going on with him feeling? You know what happened, y'all? It was his end. It's his end. You know what that is? That right hand that's stretched out on him. So when he's proven himself, he's coming with power. I know y'all didn't know what the end was. The end is great power. It ain't no play. So you're going to see him prove his in a way that y'all thought you knew what the end was going to be. But you ain't known nothing, because he ain't going to play. This end is not for you all to think it's time to play. It's time to party. Oh, no, it's not, baby. Because the end never told you. You told yourself, these pastors, these bishops, these people in this world have told you all the beginning and the end as if it's something you can get comfortable in. No, it ain't. The end ain't never been something that you can get comfortable in. He talked about tribulation and perilous time. Men heart shall fail them. Every servant of the Most High Yah that hit the earth, from David to Moses to Abraham to Isaac to Jacob to Jeremiah, every prophet had something to say about in that day. Because they knew in that day, then after that day come that power, that throwdown time. And in these verses I'm giving y'all, this is what he's talking about. It's connected to trying to, not trying, but prove to somebody, which is many. He called them heathens. So he's going to show them something. That's where that power gonna throw up and throw out in a way that this earth ain't never seen. It's like y'all got something planned for people. And the sad part is about it, they attend their church, their sanctuary, their religion, their belief, and still sitting in their seats thinking that they are something special and don't even understand. Who you are is in your spirit. You either the serpent seed or the spiritual seed that follows after the Most High. Or you the serpent seed that follows after the world. You can sit in a church, a sanctuary, a temple, a place of worship. You can sit your dumb tail on this platform for 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years, portraying you in some sort of light, portraying you righteous and upright, portraying you know him and he know you, and most of all, portraying that you holy than thou because he's greater in thee. When he got that fixed, you ain't gonna be able to go to the back door on this one. The front door gonna be slammed, just like the 10 virgins. Did not the door was closed? See, y'all playing. But in the process of that door closing, Yah wants to send a message out there in this world. Even the heathens is going to know. Know what? Why ain't nobody preach that? Why ain't nobody teaching that? What is it you trying to say to these heathens? that you ain't already said, Father? Y'all, can I say it like that? Can I say it like that? Because I know what you're trying to tell. But what is it they supposed to grip? What they ain't going to grip, Deborah. That's why when I come and the way I come, going to be fierce. And it shall come with my wrath. See, Deborah, I ain't just pulling up on nobody all of a sudden. I've been slowly coming in thousands and thousands of years. So the enemy is my raft. It's my right hand, my stretched out arm, my victory, my conquer, my war, my fierce. So what is it that you're trying to tell a nation, a people? Everybody's preparing for everything that's happening in politics. Did y'all know that? Everybody's preparing for everything that has to do with their country, their city, their county, their families. But ain't nobody preparing for what? The Father himself that stands at the front door. Ain't nobody preparing for him. Even the fools that's in the back, trying to come through the back door, basement window, the crawl space, the side windows of the house, they have no idea that they'll never get into the house. So I wanted to share that with you. Now let's go to Ezekiel 39. In Ezekiel 39 verse 7, it says, in Ezekiel 39 verse 7, so will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel. Watch this here. And I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. And the heathens shall know that I am Yah, the Holy One in Israel. What is it that he never allowed the heathens to escape knowing who he is? Why haven't nobody preached and taught that? The Hebrew Israelites and the tribe of Judah especially, it's like a cuckoo clock. They're gone. So they can't teach it. So you can't look for them to teach it because they had 6,000 years and they never taught nothing. They never came in a oneness to his bosom. That's why he's going to take out what belonged to him. Why? What do you mean, Deborah? They belong to him from the spirit realm. He ain't taking your flesh. He's taking what belongs to him from the spirit up out of here. He's taking Israel as far as the whole overall to the wilderness. But only those that are spiritual Israel is going to come out as the small remnant. And the others are going to be left right there. And they ain't going to have no problem, no way. Because that's what side they've been serving since they've been living. You see, so they ain't going to have no problem being purged out or the transgressors taken out of that remnant in the wilderness. They ain't going to have no problem with that. Okay, so here in Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 7, it says, so I will make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. And the heathens shall know that I am the Most High Yah, the Holy One in Israel. See, because somewhere along the line, hear me now, y'all, somewhere along the line, this is how I'm looking at it. The heathens knew him. For some reason, it's like they knew him. And they lied and they portrayed and they did things like they're doing today. Acting as if there's no right to right. There's no just. Y'all might not believe it. So he happened to be able to pull up in that end, which is that that fierce and that wrath, I'm going to have to show them. You mean you're going to pull out that right hand for all of y'all? Yes, Deborah, I'm going to pull out that right hand. Who is that right hand? What did Satan say? If you put that hand on Job, I can get Job. Because Satan even knows that the Father got a right hand that don't play. He's going to do that to the heathens. And they're going to know something. His right hand and his stretched out arm has a message for the end. So while y'all running around here talking about, oh, he Alpha and Omega in the beginning and the end, y'all better watch that end, baby. You can run your mouth on that beginning, but you better watch that end. Because here it is. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the fifth verse that he done gave you, showing you that I got some issues that I'm going to settle with these heathens. And they're going to know it. What's going to make them know it? If you allow 6,000 years to be in here, or maybe more, what is it that you're going to stress to where somebody going to know who you is this time? What is that going on? What's with that? That they're going to know who you are. What's coming with you? That power, that fierce, that wrath. So listen to this. In verse 7, so I will make my holy name known in the midst of my people, Israel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. And the heathen shall know that I am the Most High Yah, the Holy One of Israel. Okay, let's go to it again. Same chapter, 39. In the book of Ezekiel 39 and verse 23. What's going on here? In the book of Ezekiel, chapter 39 and verse 23. Now listen to this. Is it 23? Yes. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hide I my face from them, and gave them unto the hands of their enemies. So he's sitting here telling the heathens that you're going to know when it all said and done that he never gave up what belonged to him. Okay? And he said in his hand, and we in 23, Ezekiel 39 and verse 23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hide I my face from them, and gave them unto the hands of their enemies. So he called, letting the heathen know, I gave them into the hands of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. So don't think you did nothing. They fell by the sword in which I hand them over to. Okay, now we finna get into this. Let's find out. Now, this is what's so deep, y'all. I said to the Father, now how did David them know that already, Father? Wait, hold up. How is it that David knew that? How could that be? Let's go to Psalms 149. And this is showing you that people are not even using their study guide. See, the study guide is just that. It causes your flesh to study. And in the process of it, it don't get enough of the food for the brain. And then it wants to desire what else, or what is it to this. But most people, they take this book and made it the word. Didn't tarry for the word, but just made this book the word. So that's why a lot of them are off level. They somewhere deep, they ain't got no business being, and don't have the fullness of what is the word. The word is the Father in the kingdom. The book are words. It is a study guide. It is what we were to be studying in a form of tarrying. You know, like the day of Pentecost. So this was given to us to study and wait for the word. Study words and wait for the word. Why the word? Because the word was coming to teach us all things. And this book can't do that. So you missed out. See, you trust in the words and didn't even study the words. You just trust in the words and the way people taught you, the way people precept, line, little here and little there, all the lost books, the found books, the Enoch book. And when you finish with all them books, you still missing the main thing, the word. The word is the Father, his spirit that comes in you to teach you all things. You never waited. Remember how Yeshua came and he taught the disciples everything. And everything he taught them, they never believed. Why? They needed the word to believe the words. Y'all missed it. It went straight over your head. Why is it that the disciples didn't grip nor believe what Yeshua, which the world called Jesus, walked with them those years and teaching them? Why didn't they believe the miracle signs and wonder? What was going on that they didn't grip? Nothing. Because see, they had the words from the mouth of the Yeshua, HaMashiach. Y'all said, hold up now. You give them the words and I will be the word in them. What y'all tales did is you didn't seek and tarry and wait, which tarry mean for the word, because you got content with the words. Now, I know Yeshua HaMashiach gave you the closest rim to the word because he had Christ with him. But it never dawned on you that if they had the word, why was they waiting up in the day of Pentecost? What was y'all waiting up in that upper room for? Why are you waiting? Why, if they had everything they needed to be all that they could be, why y'all in the upper room tarrying, singing and praising? Why y'all up in there? They don't remember nothing Yeshua had taught them. They singing hymns, waiting. They remembered that they are to wait. They are to tarry. Well, wait a minute. What are you tarrying for? What are you tarrying for? What are you waiting for? Nothing. Because you thought you had the word with you, didn't you? You ain't got no word. You got words. The same thing the disciples had, but a little higher level because Christ was with the Son of Man. So therefore, even when Christ was with the Son of Man, he was in the Son of Man. So the Son of Man had the word. What was with the 12 disciples that they could not grip the words? What was with them that they could not believe? They didn't have the word. See, the word is the Father himself. His spirit coming, living in them. That's what he told them to tarry for. That's just like this book. You're supposed to study this book. Study to show what? Your own self, your flesh. So that when you study to show thyself, and then you try and you work on rightly dividing, but if you know what, you show y'all that you're studying, like they did over in the day of Pentecost, they showed him that they were waiting on something else. Why haven't you waited? Why haven't you received it? Because you stuck on the words. See, the disciples couldn't get redeemed, y'all, with Yeshua HaMashiach. Remember, Yeshua HaMashiach was the Son of Man with the Son of Yah. Okay, which the Son of Yah was Emmanuel, which was Yah with us. He gave his power, his spirit, and his word to the Son of Man. That was called Christ. Yeshua was called Jesus. So now Yeshua had the word in him. You see, Jesus had the word in him. That's who Christ was. In him. So he taught the disciples the word. But it wasn't good enough. Because he said, I have to go now, y'all. I must go. Because when I go, he going to send what I had in me, in you. That's why 99.9 you don't have the Holy Spirit. You don't have the word in you. That's why you can talk all you want. You can walk a million years saying, I'm holy, I'm righteous, I'm just. And you can, all you're doing, just like in Daniel chapter 12, going 2 and 4. Ever learning is for all those scholars and those people, learned people, those people who think they got it back to front to back. You can't learn nothing as great as he that is in you, which is the Holy Spirit, the true teacher. That's why he checked you and told you that I shall teach you. When that Holy Spirit come, like it did in the day of Pentecost, I shall teach you. Look how I had to roll in. You see that they don't get that far. They don't get it. Look how he had to roll on in, like a rushing, roaring wind. Look how the day of Pentecost, you don't hear nobody talk about it. You don't hear nobody preach. What took place that day? Now that should have been something that even the little children from 5 and older should have been taught. This wonderful day in what they call Acts, the day of Pentecost. Why? Because that's a form of showing you the power. They didn't want you to know nothing about it. That's why now y'all don't know nothing about it. But let them pull up Enoch. All your fools go running for it. Ezra, Apocalypse, all these books, you all run for. But ain't now one of you ran for the day of Pentecost. Now one of you have tarried in your spirit. So that's where they was at. They were waiting. They were waiting for more of what they didn't have. Which one of y'all have done that? Oh no, you got all the lost books you was waiting for. Now you got them. Now what? You still as lost as you were before you didn't have them. And this is what you don't hear in nobody's place of worship, no one's church, temple, no one on YouTube. You ain't gonna hear it. You shouldn't hear it. Because he said, he that has an ear, let him hear. For mine knows my voice. So it ain't for you to hear. You see? Even when you heard me, he'll let it penetrate in one ear and out the next. Because when they get in that one ear, guess what happened? It take off running straight across your head, out the other. That's how fast it coming in and go out. Because truth is not something that your ear wants to hold. Because it want to rule. And the flesh does a great job in ruling. It wants to rumble. It wants to have its way. It wants to be about what it wants to be about. So it ain't thinking about no word penetrating in your ear, or no spirit in truth that your ear hear. No, it takes in one ear and run out the next. Do you know there are people? This is what I have learned throughout time. There are people that you can say 2 or 3 things to, just words. It triggers such a harsh reaction because their spirit don't want that truth touching them. Don't touch me. Get away from me. Don't. Let me get out of here. That's how it deals. That's how it rumbles. It don't want truth. So I like to know, and I ask you to give yourself this thought. Why was it the 12 disciples? What were they waiting for? What were they waiting for the day of Pentecost? What happened to all that they learned with Yeshua? It didn't mean to rest behind, did it? That's the part I was trying to tell y'all. You have to. It don't mean to rest behind because you're reading these words in this book. These are stories. Yes, are there some light in them? Yes. But the only way you're going to know the light in it is when you get the light in you. And that light that's in you reflect the light that's in this book. And then you'll realize this book ain't nothing but a bunch of words, but y'all allowing you to see the light in some places, and it allows you to understand how man has tampered with the book, in the book, around the book. They have added, they have taken away. You see? Being so they do have the scrolls. In case a lot of y'all, you don't hear nobody talking about that is. Who got it? You see? You don't hear people even touching that rim because they don't want to touch that rim because they know who got it. Who have the scrolls. They know. They don't want to talk about it. They just want everything to be exactly where it's at. Leave it here. Shut your mouth. Don't talk about it. Let's follow that 501 through 03. We can get signed up in that. We can get 10, 20,000 members, 100,000 members on YouTube, and 300,000, 400,000. We can get 1 million. As long as we don't touch that rim, that is spirit and that is truth. So just imagine how many people been out here lost with the cause and without. So I'm going to go here in Psalms 149. I want to show y'all something. Now we're going back. We're going to go right back to this heathens, because I want you to see exactly why he's communing with the heathens. And what gets me is, how did David know? How did, now I know, I ain't gonna sit and lie to you, but my brother David, he knew too. So that's how far back it goes. So what do you know? What do you really understand? They ain't gonna tell you because they ain't gonna talk about it. Okay, we talking about Psalms 149. Psalms 149, verse 7, 8, and 9. Psalms 149, verse 7, to execute vengeance upon the heathens. See, y'all didn't even understand the end, did you? See, a lot of people want to quote it like, oh, Alpha and Omega, the beginning, he's the beginning of the end. And it's a sad, I told you, been in church all your living. Call yourself reading the book all this time, and you never knew what the end really was, is, and shall be. But you're quoting it all the time. The end is going to carry wrath, power, destroy, tearing down in a way things ain't never been torn down. That's what the end is going to bring. Now listen to what it says. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with flatters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. I like that. The judgment that's written. What you mean, Deborah? See, you ain't gonna get no pastor teaching that, or is he gonna lose his funds from the government and the state? They ain't gonna tell you that. Verse 9, it says, to execute upon them the judgment that is already written. Y'all, that's scary. That is so, I ain't gonna sit there. I know he ain't talking about me, but that's scary. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yah. Now he's telling here he's doing something. He's going to execute his judgment, but he's telling his saints, praise ye Yah. See, we thinking that we supposed to get all sad and teary-eyed. No, he said, saints, y'all praise that. Because that's when my judgment is going to cut up and cut out. See, everybody thinking, oh, the world going in a war and Babylon going to fall. No, y'all finna kick butt in the midst of it all. And he said it. And he left words to the heathens. So this is what I also realized, what the elites also are fully aware of. Oh, they know it. They know it. They ain't got no problem with it. because they're going to get out of Babylon. They thinking they're going to last another 50, 60 years after all the chaos, because they got, honestly, stuff to keep their flesh feeling and lasting long. But they don't know the day and the hour that the breath could be taken from them. But from what they have practiced for hundreds of years, they call themselves ready. Okay, so he's saying he's going to execute vengeance upon the heathens. This is what he's talking about, and they're going to know something. They're going to know. And I said to him, I said 3 years ago, I said, well, what's this thing with you and the heathens? Look like you and the heathens going, you and the heathens got something going on. That's how I felt. I said, I done read so much about you and the heathens gonna know, and the heathens gonna know, and the heathens gonna know. What's this thing with you and the heathens, Father, y'all? He said, Deborah, if you only knew, because nobody is gripping it at all. And then you see David sitting here telling in verse 7 to execute vengeance upon the heathens. Then I went to 94, Psalms 94 and verse 10. Psalms 94 and verse 10. Listen to this. Now, this David is saying this. Now, y'all don't think there's something wrong with that? David already knew that from the time he existed to the end of what he could prophesy on was y'all gonna have an issue. Y'all gonna do some destroying with these heathens. As he did then, so shall he do in that day. Now watch this here. Psalms 94. Is that right? Yes, Psalms 94 and verse 10. He that chaseth the heathens shall not he correct. He that teaches man knowledge shall not he know. Verse 11. Yah knoweth the thoughts of men, that they are vanity. Now this is here. He that chastises the heathens shall not he correct them. Correct. Shall not he correct. Somewhere along the line, I believe, wealthy people are fully aware of the heathens and who these heathens represent. I believe that they represent other nations. I do know that. I ain't gonna say I'm just me believing it, but I do know they represent other nations. But Yah is saying, I got a bone to pick with you. And my wrath is with me. So people who are running to and fro trying to figure out if they up or if they down, if they going or if they coming, you gonna keep playing with yourself. You either in or you out. And it's the hardest thing for me, but I have already started working the process of understanding what is in a person is more important to them to uphold their race, their integrity amongst their nationality and amongst their own race than to choose light. And that's a powerful pill. Because if you think that everything is based on upholding what you want to hear and what you don't want to hear, what you want. In Daniel 12, he was talking about how knowledge is going to increase. Who you think going to be gripping this knowledge? Or do we grip this knowledge in our flesh? Do we take on this knowledge in the flesh? Who is this knowledge going to be increasing? Who's going to be able to take this knowledge that is increasing and put it on high? the righteous ones. Because those that are who really are holding on to a nationality more so than a righteous one, they could care less. Because they don't want nobody speaking against or toward their nationality. So they got a God within themselves. Oh, yes. They have their own God and don't even know it within themselves. Because it's better for them to get tied up in who I am in the flesh than who I am in the spirit. What side am I willing to represent in the flesh versus what side I'm representing in the spirit. You see? So they're not going to grasp the knowledge, because if the knowledge bring light out of darkness, they don't want it when it has to tap in on what their nationality is, or their race, or what nationality that they are. Like with me, I don't give a rat's behind about a nationality. And I know one would say, because your nationality is wicked and evil and do this and do. No. Ain't nobody getting away from iniquity and sin. That's why I'm not going to be teaching it in a way, spirit and truth and the light. I refuse to hold spirit and truth and the light in my nationality or in my race. Because I feel, how would I say, convicted, or I feel guilty. Not guilty, it ain't even guilty. I feel I got to uphold my race more than any righteous that might rest there in me. And that's the beauty of Yah saying, it is written. Your tale is already written in. So you can uphold whatever you want on this earth, because you're so offended by something that might attack your nationality, which is your flesh. There's no nationality in the kingdom. There's spirits. But this is how things are already divided, and people have no idea. You are already divided. And when you begin to uphold your nationality and thinking you protecting your nationality and your person of who you are in the flesh, do you know many of you all out there trying to protect your flesh? For what? Ain't no good in my flesh nor yours. So what are you protecting? What's this thing about protecting your flesh, your nationality, your race over righteous spirit and truth, and over the light? Only time that happens is you got some unfinished business that's living in you. Some serious unfinished business that's resting in you. And it's nothing connected to the Most High Yah. Because Yah is not going to compete against your flesh. When your flesh feel it has to defend your nationality in a way that keep you from being offended by anybody saying anything, or causing you to even think or to understand something went wrong with your nationality. People don't want to even feel that their nationality ever done anything wicked and evil, unjust. So I'm sitting here showing you where the kingdom already said, I got some beef that I'm going to burn up. My wrath is toward showing the heathens something. It ain't like they didn't know. It's they knew. But they thought that their power here on the earth were greater than the kingdom. But he said, and the heathen shall know. And the heathen shall know. So when I get to Psalms chapter 9 and verse 5, he's sitting here letting you know you can go and play with yourself in this flesh. And I'm going to tell you, that's another way of knowing who you're dealing with out here. This is the way that you know, and you have to accept it. No matter what the situation is, you know who you're dealing with when people tend to try to offend their nationality. Because when you're offending your nationality, you're offending the world. You're offending sin and iniquity. You're offending evil and wickedness. So that will be in you that not even Yah will remove. He will let you continue to live yourself out until the day of judgment. You think these people stood up the day of judgment and said, I did this, I did this, I did this in your name? You think they had the nerve in the spirit realm to stand before the spirit of the Most High Yah and tell him what all they did? That's people who played it down on the earth, portrayed that they was with Yah, but they couldn't get over who they were in the flesh. They couldn't get over this race of people and this race of people, because in their spiritual heart it is written, which seed you are. And you're so heavy trying to play another role. But when you start to defend black and white, white and black, and you start to offend, defend which race you are, and then you don't want the truth about nothing. You don't want to go into nothing to learn the truth. You know why you have to learn? If you're the right that you're supposed to be, because Daniel told him, close that book up and sell it into the very end. For knowledge is going to hit them. So when you walk your tail around here and you at the highest level of Yah, when it come down to knowledge and there's nothing else for you to learn or understand, because you're afraid that it's going to go into saying where your nationality is, where your race of people been, what they've been doing. Let me tell you something. You are so messed up from the floor up and you have no idea. And that's not a good thing, because you're portraying something on the earth that's not pretty. It's ugly. So the Father wants everyone to understand, leave them alone, because I already said it. Deborah, you can't come in here and try to teach these people something that I've been trying to say all this time. No one ever questioned what you're talking about right now. And the heathens shall know. Even those who are the heathens, they don't want to even look at it and study it and come to the understanding of what is he saying here? What is he meaning? Because it'll interfere with their nationality. And they don't want their flesh to be moved. They don't want no one dividing. And that's a powerful, wicked war on the earth right now. That's why, and in me, I'm like saying, but Father, why would anybody not understand all these people are being hung from a tree and people walking around don't want you to say nothing about their nationality? They think it's okay for their nationality to conduct that way. Do y'all know that? People do. People think that that's okay. That's mean. That means something for me to protect my nationality. You protecting the flesh. See if you can protect it come the lake of fire. Because that's in the kingdom, it is already written. And if a heart is protecting the nationality on this earth, you are Satan's seed as a wolf in sheep clothing. Because anytime something might cause you to be offended by the race of who you are, something else is going on. Something is not right. Something just ain't right. You think I sit here and talk about Judah knowing that that's pretty much the tribe I came out of, and I still stand firm and speak on Judah and what Judah has done and what Judah continue to do. And it's all Daniel. But don't step in nobody else's turf. That's the level of darkness that he speaks of that's deeper than deep. Because it's a place that you can't pour light out of. That's what makes it deeper than deep, because you can't pour light out of that, because it's rooted in the heart and in the mind. And they got it so rooted to where it's like it's glued, and they're not going to be moved by it, because it's a form that offends them so bad. But did y'all know that when it becomes a battle between white and black, guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to step back. Why? Because your battle is in the spirit. It's not white and black. Your battle is resting in the spirit. And when it's resting in the spirit, you let that one that is in the spirit, that got you in the spirit, fight that battle. Don't be out here fighting racial wars, because people are fighting racial wars with their feelings, their emotions, their personal opinion. They putting the A1 on their nationality. They don't want nobody to touch nothing. Even the knowledge that's going to be increased, they don't want you to touch it if it has to do with their race. There's a sick issue right there. And you can't change it, because it's rooted in. And I don't think it's just the flesh, it's the spirit. Because once you become redeemed, and what you become born again, you become a new creature. You're not the creature of the flesh, meaning you're not the creature that upholds this race or this race or this race or this race. You know, you're a person that now uphold righteous. You want to uphold the light. You want to uphold spirit and truth. You want to uphold the things in the spirit, because you're in full understanding by the spirit that everything outside of the spirit is wicked and evil, is vain and vast. See, that's what they don't get. But when you hold on to those things and you tell yourself in your heart, which is your mind of your flesh, okay? When you tell yourself that I don't want nobody tapping on this end, I don't want no one going on this end with my nationality because I get offended. There's no knowledge going to be increased in that level, because I'm a limit what I want to hear, what I want to study, what I want to understand. There's an issue bigger than you. Believe me, there's an issue. Because it would be just like me. Someone comes saying something about Judah, or anything come up about Judah, I get offended. What would that look like? As a servant of the Most High Yah, predestined, ordained, and foreknew before the foundation of the world. That means before I was black or white or whatever race, he knew me. What did he know me in? The spirit realm. So why am I getting caught up in the flesh realm of all this white and black sort of thing? But what I will step into, the reality of what's happening in all these nationalities. If they doing a lot of lynching, and then it's on this side talking about they're in the spirit realm, you're not in the spirit realm if you don't recognize what's happening in reality. Now, when them politics start speaking, you all up on it, and you good for that. You recognize that. You get your deep study, and now everything now I want to know, because now it fits you by satisfying you. There's a problem, y'all, and this is the issue he's talking about. People are now taking on confusion because they don't want the truth. Now they're going to turn it in, being confused. See, when you're steadfast, unremovable, you in it with Yah all the way. None of your words to him would penetrate him when the heart of who you are is representing another side. That's what people don't understand. There are people who served in the church for 60 years, 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, still as lost as they were the day they stepped in, even to this very day. And nobody can tell them nothing because it's set in their hearts, which is here, that I uphold the way of this way. I uphold this way because of this. Anytime we take things from the flesh realm, you are born to serve the flesh. So therefore, Sister Deborah can't afford to be about black and white, because I know this is bigger than black and white. This is deeper than deep. So black and white can't even touch it, can't go nowhere near it. Black and white ain't got nothing to do with what is spirit and truth, what is righteous, just, upright. Black and white don't have nothing to do with it. You think truth came that it may support your right and wrong? Truth. Come on now. Pull up somebody. You think righteous stands only when you say it's righteous? You think righteous only righteous when you say it's righteous, or when you feel it's righteous, or when you think it's righteous, or you define it to be right? Now, righteous stand alone. It don't need you on the left nor the right, in front of it, in back. It can stand alone. Same way with truth. Truth don't need your tail. Truth don't need black, white. Truth don't need everything a male nor female. Truth don't need young or old, on the left or right, in the back, in front. No, truth stand by itself. If it don't stand with righteous and righteous don't stand with it, it don't need your tail. Because it don't need a race. Truth and righteous don't need a nationality. Truth and righteous don't need a denomination, a religion. Truth don't need the flesh. It's still going to be truth from the beginning. It's going to be truth at the end. It's going to be righteous at the beginning. And it's going to be righteous at the end. Y'all just down here playing with yourselves, which is with your flesh, trying to make something to be that it is not, was not, and shall not be. So you go on, keep on playing with yourself, because you have stepped into tribulation. You have hit the threshold of tribulation, perilous times, and men's hearts shall fail them, already in the picture. So you want to run around here and y'all want to go on and keep on playing. This is what make people don't stand up against things that's happening, is because they got their own little self flesh way of thinking and feeling and acting. They only want to communicate on that level. You come anywhere against their race, oh, it's on. Now you're unrighteous. Now you're unjust. Now you don't have truth. Only time you have truth, as long as you don't tap into someone's nationality. That's the only time you okay. You good as long as you stay on your nationality. You tap in my nationality now. I don't want to hear it. That's people who are born of the flesh. Do y'all know people that are born of the flesh is the main ones that's walking around today quoting that they're in the church, they are redeemed, they are saved, they are Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost filled, they have the Ruach HaKodesh, or people who conduct themselves in a manner of their flesh. Y'all didn't come to deal with your nasty, stinky flesh. He has nothing to do with it. He only deals in the spirit of who you are and you in him. He ain't got time to play with your flesh, because flesh ain't got no good in it. It's its own worst enemy. It thinks evil and wicked. It feels evil and wicked. It does things that's not righteous, not just. So what does that mean? It's not falling under the one in the spirit. So you think he down here letting you pick your where you need to stand? Well, if it's my race, I'm going to stand on this. And if it's my race over here, I'm going to stand on this. Sit your tail down. You can stand on any side you want. You still standing on born of the flesh. So anything that you stand on, if it's outside of spirit, you are born to serve the serpent seed in darkness along with your flesh. So y'all go out here and play this racist war game. Go on out there and play it and not realize truth and righteous has no part in it. It's who you are in the spirit that makes you righteous, that makes you just, that makes you upright. And when you're that in the spirit, y'all allow it to pour out in your flesh to speak like I speak today. There is too much going on to be picking a side, y'all. It is. What do you mean, Sister Deborah? Okay, it's just too much going on to pick a side to where I'm comfortable in the flesh. So I'm going to say, oh, this, and this to make me comfortable in the flesh about what's going on in the flesh. I'm going to talk about any race that I choose to speak on. If the Spirit put it in my spirit to speak it, I'm going to speak it. I'm going to stand on the Dorn mountaintop. It's not okay for me to do it for one race and keep quiet about another. I see all the Judah doing that, especially the men. They so evil and wicked toward their own nation, but they still suck in the feet of other nations, which the Father says, I got some bones to pick with you heathens. So those same heathens that the Father is talking about, he's going to deal with, or he's going to reveal with, Judah is still over there on that side, kissing the feet, sucking the toes, as if there's gold or it's treasures in it. That's what Judah is doing. But as long as you're talking about that, it's okay. But no, that's not how I rumble. So you can check out of this page. You can unsubscribe. I'm about whatever y'all gives me. Whatever that knowledge that's increasing in these end days is so important that you catch it the way the Spirit is allowing it to be released. You get what I'm saying? It's somewhere along the line. He ain't talking about knowledge of the world. He's talking about knowledge is going to increase in the spirit knowledge. That's the spirit knowledge. Catch it, Deborah. Bam, bam. Catch it wherever it's at. Catch it. Don't run around here and listen to people. Oh, I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to entertain. I'm not going to entertain. Oh, no, because you're afraid that that knowledge could be speaking about your own nationality. And to me, that's sick. Because it makes me think about stepping in the realm of the flesh because you sick in the flesh. No, I'm not going there. And I'm going to speak about anything I want to speak about that the Spirit opens me up. And since he's telling us that in the end days how the knowledge is going to increase, then we that are in the light catch that knowledge, hold firm to it. And if it's enough knowledge to be feeding others, grab it and feed it. Don't be afraid. Because people are more afraid of nationalities than the fear of Yah. But see, I understand why. The fear of Yah is what he branded in your spirit already. So if you ain't branded by his fear, you need to be fearful of what is all around this world being said. Because you just that afraid of all the different nationalities. And I myself believe that when you fall under righteous, that's what you fall under. Righteous is not a nationality. It's not your emotions and your feelings or your personal opinion about your flesh race. That's not what truth and righteous is. And that's what makes people fools on the earth before they even be judged in the kingdom. What fool will be on the earth thinking that that's what righteous and truth stand for? My emotions not tapped in. My feelings not bothered with. Don't touch my race, because I'm loaded with an issue in that. Somebody, it's just like it starts a war, a fight. Your race mean that much to you, till you can step out of the guideline that you say you are spirit and truth in. Come on now. That's it. I'm going to go into my Sabbath and wait for the Most High Yah to give me the next wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the day that we are in. And I, Sister Deborah, let me see, did I cover it? Psalms 9, chapter 9. No, I didn't. Let me get to it. In Psalms chapter 9 and verse 5, and it reads, Thou hast rebuked the heathens. Thou hast destroyed the wicked one, the wicked. Thou hast put out their name forever and ever. Who is he talking to? The heathens. Now, if you think y'all not supposed to have nothing to say to the heathens, who is the heathens? Come on now, Deborah, tell them. So he's supposed to stand down too, huh? Yeah, you supposed to stand down. They don't want you to talk about their nationalities. They don't want you to talk about the Gentiles and the heathens. You see? Truth don't give a rat's behind how you feel. Righteous stands along with truth, and truth stands with righteous. And the only one that speak it are the true servants of the Most High God. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. I hope you got something, and even if you didn't, I know that I did. Shalom and shalom.